with you. We'd love to know your questions. I am also going to talk about the 3 trays of the Genius. Did you know that the Genius has not 1, not 2, but 3 balancing trays? Why do you use the different trays? Why do we have 3 trays instead of just 1? That doesn't make any sense. So we're going to go over why those exist. We also do have some Labor Day specials going on, so we want to talk to you about those in just a moment here. And if you want to volunteer to be scanned today, particularly as we work on the Meridians, then you can go ahead and you can volunteer by putting your date of birth into the chat. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for all of the folks who are our new people who have just joined and now are part of our Genius community and our long-term Genius Biofeedback users. Gosh, we really, really appreciate you so much. And there's always so much to learn. It's been my great pleasure to be training about Genius Biofeedback for 10 years now. And I absolutely love it. It never really gets tiring because there's always so much to discover, and it's very current to where we are in our world. There's so much to discover, to balance, to solve together, and that is just super, super exciting. Well, this week we do have our Labor Day specials. You can share if you're an affiliate. Do share our Labor Day specials with friends. We do have up to $500 off, and hopefully we can get this up and running here. We do have up to $500 off. We're also having some really cool shungite powdered stickers that we've imprinted with special frequencies for you. And so if you'd like to get in on those, go ahead and get your package this weekend. Our Genius packages are reduced in price this weekend, so please make sure you take advantage of that. We don't always have discounts on pricing, so make sure that you get your savings or share this with your friends to get the savings for your Genius package. So we've shared that. We also have a coupon code that we're going to be sharing out a little bit later on today, but let me share it with you now. If you use this coupon code, if you're a Genius owner and you use this coupon code that we're sharing, you're going to get 40% off of libraries. So if you'd like to get 40% off of your libraries, you can use this code, and we're going to put it into the chat. It's LABD, like Labor Day 40, and you'll get 40% discount on all libraries. Now, if you're a Library Discount Club member, later on, we're going to email you a special code. All right. And so you have all those discounts. Fantastic. And there you go. Okay, so 40% discount on the libraries. And then Library Discount Club members, we have a couple of different clubs. And so if you're a Library Discount Club member, we're actually going to have 60% off. So you'd have an opportunity to join. If you wanted to join Library Discount Club, then for the next 72 hours, we're going to be giving Library Discount Clubs and members an additional 20%, which would be 60% off libraries. So you can join. You can actually just join Library Discount Club for a month if you want. There's no obligation. You can cancel at any time. So you could be super sneaky and just join for the month, get 60% off of your libraries and get a whole collection that you've been wanting. We're also going to be having a terahertz training beginning on Wednesdays, and the awesome Benet, our wonderful trainer, is going to be training people, talking about the specials that we have for terahertz every Wednesday at 4 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern time. So Wednesdays at 5 o'clock Eastern. Terahertz training will return, and I'll drop in occasionally, but Benet will be running that, and she'll tell you all about the wonderful terahertz discounts that we have. We have one more thing I want to share with you, which is our new process club. It's really like a practitioner club or how to solve cases club. So we may name it more appropriately, but if you're interested in, once you get into your Genius, how do I choose what to do? How do I choose the frequencies in order? Which frequencies do I choose to solve certain cases? This will give me an opportunity to also do some sharing of how we look at cases in naturopathic medicine. And so once a month we'll meet, we'll do a marathon session, but during the month, what's really cool is we're going to be taking your requests. So every person who joins, you get at least one request. In other words, if you say to me, Ariel, I need to know how to solve how to work with somebody with Parkinson's, or I need to work with somebody with eczema or diabetes or insulin resistance or some crazy condition that nobody's ever heard of, then I will go in there personally and I will create a process that we will share with all of the members. So if you're interested in solving cases for yourself, your family, or you're a practitioner, you're definitely going to want to check out this club. It is very easy to join. You can cancel at any time. And what we're going to do is we're going to share those processes with everyone. And what you can expect from joining the club is becoming a better case solver, becoming better at your strategies for figuring out what frequencies do I include in that tray, what do I not include in the tray. So this has been a request. People write to us all the time. You know, how do I solve this case? How do I do that? We just don't have a forum for doing that. It really takes a lot of energy from me to sit down with a case, to research it, to look at it. But I feel like in this club, we can bring our resources together and I can share that information with everybody within the club. So you can think of it as the practitioners club, a case solving club. And I'm really excited for the people who have joined already. Thank you. We're going to be scheduling our first meeting. We're going to do a marathon of cases. We're also going to be presenting you with those processes. So I'm really excited about that. And like I said, we have a new terahertz training that's going to be on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock Eastern time. We should have that. If it's not posted on the events calendar yet, it will be soon. Let's see what we've got on our events calendar. Okay, we haven't quite gotten that posted just yet, but we will have that posted very soon. And it's going to be on Wednesdays, as I said. We'll also get it out in the email today. We're getting a little bit better at getting out the email on a consistent basis. So we'll have that to share with you. We're also going to be sharing, not this week, but next week, the results of our research. And we'll be sharing it on the Monday class, but also have a special presentation for you. And those of you who have been in the study, we do have a special library for you. We're going to be getting it to you by about midweek. Those of you who completed the study, we had over 100 people complete our Genius Biofeedback research study. If you were part of our study, I want to personally thank you from the bottom of my heart for your dedication. We loved hearing from people. People said things like they've never taken the time to really run themselves daily, and they learned so much from this experience. We're going to hear from them. And I'm going to be meeting with just our research participants this Thursday. We're going to do a prize giveaway. We thank everybody who has been a part of that. We're going to do a little bit of a launch just with our participants, and then we're going to do a big launch for the greater community to share. The results have been nothing short of stunning, with 50% reduction in symptoms like pain, inflammation, sleep issues, insomnia, all types of things. People got really tremendous reduction in their symptoms from what we see in their questionnaires. And again, we're going to have some graphs for you. We're going to share all of that. And then we're going to turn it into marketing materials that our Genius community can use for their practice. So you can use these materials in your practice. You can use it as an affiliate to share how much. And even I've been really incredibly shocked at just, delighted at the true reduction, the true experience of people getting so much better within the 8 weeks that they were using the Genius. And a lot of people said to us, I wish that this had gone on longer. So I wish that it had been longer. So it's been, they wanted to do more. So if you've been doing it every day for yourself, don't stop. It was just 15 minutes a day with a very basic process on the Genius. And they ran that 15 minutes a day. And then they had tremendous, tremendous progress. And we're going to share all of that coming up very, very soon. Now, I want to just familiarize you with geniusbiofeedback.com. Genius Biofeedback is an incredible self-empowerment software where you can discover all types of things about yourself, all types of imbalances, and then reverse that by balancing the issues. And we have so many things that you can focus on and work on for yourself and for your family and for your clients. So we teach about the Genius Biofeedback system. And to that degree, we have our website, geniusbiofeedback.com. On the website, you can see a lot of different resources. And today I just want to let you know about our blog. Usually on the blog, we have all the Monday training information. And so we do have our Meridians guide. So you can download this by going to geniusbiofeedback.com, go to learn, go to learn, and then you can download this. Many of you may have it. It's just a simple, sort of quick and easy guide to the meridians. So you certainly can download this. We also, I don't know if you've seen our basic processes. This is sort of one of the things we'll be covering in our process club. But if you go to the blog, let's go to the blog right here. If you go to the blog, you can also see this processes 1 through 4. So this is the kind of thing that we're teaching in the process club as well. Now, a lot of you know process 1 through 3. We did recently add a 4th one. And so you can see basic process 4 for nourishing and energizing. What is a process? A process is a series of steps or panels that you can use in your balancing. And this gives you some structure. This gives you something to sink your teeth into. What do I do when I go to my Genius? I don't know where to get started. I don't know what panels to include. So the basic process document gives you some ideas of things that you can start with. And if you're a practitioner, you should always start with one of these basic processes and then add in your panels afterwards. That way you can be more efficient with your time. That's something we teach in business membership. You start off with a process that's described here. You know exactly what you're going to do. And as you know more about your client, you're going to add in 4 to 6 other panels. And that way you don't end up, some of our practitioners in the beginning, they're doing like, 2 to 3 hour sessions. We want to teach you to be more efficient. You can make a really good living being a Genius practitioner, but you must learn to balance your time. So today we're going to be talking more about the meridians, and I'm going to be working with the meridians by taking a volunteer in just a moment. Again, you can download the document about Chinese meridians. The cool thing about Chinese meridians is that they are energetic pathways within the body. And what you're doing as a biofeedback practitioner is you're navigating energy. You are a director of energy. And so within the meridians, you have elements of body, of mind, of emotion, of spirit, all within these profound pathways within the human body that were described by the Chinese medicine practitioners thousands of years ago. And this is I think the truest understanding of the body is that it's, probably more energy than it is physicality. And so we can look at the energies within the human body in the Genius. So we can get an idea of which meridian is the most out of balance, and we can begin to put that together with the other information that we get: flower essences, vitamins, minerals, herbs. We can put all that information together. One of the really powerful things that you could do is you could just work with the meridians and maybe the emotions. So I'm going to show you that, because you could do a whole balancing just on meridians, the points, and maybe add in some flower essences. So we're going to look at that in just a moment. What we're really doing, again, as biofeedback practitioners, is we're moving the energy field. We're sending different, impulses to basically work with the energy field within the body. And I'm just trying to look for a really good picture. We've shown this one before. We have this picture as well. If we can just, I'm just going to see if I can zoom in here a little bit. Okay, just from a random web page, just to look at this for a second. You can see all the different pathways through the body. And this doesn't even do it justice, but there are meridians that run through your entire being. And each meridian runs through usually one of the organs within the body. So it might be the liver meridian will run throughout the entire body, but also run through the liver. The large intestine will run through the large intestine, but also it covers other elements within the body. And depending on if there's excess flow through this or diminished flow, this will affect the physical aspects of the body. So by running the energetics of the meridians, we can achieve and accomplish so much. So I'm going to show you the trays today. I'm going to show you the meridians, and I will also answer your questions. So I think we had some volunteers, and we're going to go with that in just a moment. So let's go ahead and take a look here. I was wondering about the process club. Okay, great, thank you. And how often are the meetings for the business membership? So process club meets once per month, but every week we're sending you new processes as we develop them. And then business membership meets 3 times a month, where we give you things like how to manage your Quanta Capsule subscription, how to market on Instagram, how to just maintain all of your clients, how to have, we give you documents for that, fillables. We give you a lot of business resources. Now we have a new user, which is Joan. Joan, I really want to compliment you for being courageous to jump in with both feet, and you've even sent us some referrals, which I really want to thank you for. So Joan, we're going to work with you today. I see you got a birthday coming up too. So we're going to work with you today. So be prepared to join us. We'd love to hear about how you're doing with your genius practice on yourself and friends, if you've been doing that, or maybe just working on yourself. So in just a moment, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to have you join me, and we're going to work on you, and then I'll talk about all the trays as well as answering your questions. So please put your questions into the chat. Thank you for joining today on Labor Day. It's so nice to have you along. So nice to spend the morning with you, or maybe the early afternoon. But if you do have questions, you can put them into the chat. Always bring your questions here. And during the week, I'm trying to remember when we see customer service come across in the Genius, maybe I can do this a different way. I want to show you something that I've discovered here, and let's see if we can do it today. I'm not sure I'll be successful with it, but let me talk about this. Did you know that you can use, how many people here knew that they could use their Genius on their Mac? So did you know you can use your Genius, it's actually booting up right now, that you can use your Genius on your Mac, your laptop, your desktop? Did you know that you can do that? And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and see if I can put Joan right on here. And this will be a deviation. Usually at this time, I'll bring up our reflector, and I'll have us do our session by broadcasting my Genius onto my desktop. Today, we're going to take a different route here, and we're going to go right from the desktop itself. I'm going to show you that. And that is because I'm using a Mac Mini. And with this Mac Mini that I got in 2021, it has an M1 chip. We've now moved to the M2 chip. So if you go and you purchase a Mac Mini, a Mac laptop, a Mac desktop, you'll probably get the M2 chip. So where I'm going with that is that this chip allows us to use the iOS version, which is usually only available. Let's see if this was working here. Nope, not working. Can only use the carousel for the date. I'm sorry, I just want to go ahead and get this up here, and we'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is really cool because you can use iOS. There are some Chromebooks that will allow you to use the, this is going so slow, that will allow you to use the Android version. And let me see if I can get this to cooperate. You'll see what I'm talking about when I share the rest of the screen here. This is a little tricky to do from here. All right, here we go. So this is really cool. I'm no longer broadcasting from my reflector. I'm showing you what is actually launched right on my Genius Biofeedback system. So let's continue with a new analysis here and just go right to the voice in the picture. So Joan, I'm going to bring you on in just one moment. Let me just go ahead and bring you up as a panelist here. Please put your questions into the chat so I can go back and answer them as we go through here. I just try to go back as I have a chance to pause and answer them. And we'll bring Joan on. So this is really cool. This is an M1 chip based Mac presentation of the Genius actually on a computer. It's been a big, huge change for us to be on an actual landed computer. And it runs as if you were running an app. So it sort of shows you it as if it were an app presentation, because it's running it on an iOS, which is usually used on your phone or your iPad. So let's see if we have, if Joan was able to join us there, or we may just have to take her voice. If we can't get her to pop up here, we may just unmute her in the regular part here. And let's see what some of your questions are. Can this run on Windows? It doesn't run on Windows, but it could run on things like a Chromebook. So there are certain Chromebooks, I believe it's like the Lenovo Chromebooks, and you have to try it first. So you might have to order your Lenovo and actually see if it will load. There are some that will load it. There will some that will not. Probably the newer ones that will load it. All right, so that's awesome. We can use it on our laptops. Didn't know you could use it on a Mac. All right, so let's see. So we still don't have Joan, which means I think she's joining us maybe from her phone. or something like that. So let's go ahead and just see if we can unmute you right here. So Joan, how are you? Okay, I think this has to do with your...
I'm unmuted now. Can you hear me?
Yes, Joan, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you.
And
I'm not seeing where to join with video, though. I don't have a button.
yeah, I kept trying to promote you. What are you joining us from? What kind of device?
I'm on my desktop
All
with
right,
a.
well, it doesn't, let's not get too caught up with that. Let's go ahead and record your voice, and then I want to visit with you a little bit. I'm going to
Wait,
record your voice here. So in
just one
just a,
moment. I
I'm sorry.
think you have the wrong birth date. It's actually June 10th, 61.
Oh, well, you tricked me there a little bit, didn't you?
I know I
Because
write my dates differently. I didn't know which format you use, so
okay.
I
I'm gonna let
apologize.
that go. It's not the most pertinent part of the genius. It's
Okay.
not a huge part of the algorithm. So for time's sake, um, you're in Canada, right? So were you
I
born in the
am.
UK or Europe? How come you write it the backwards? You write it with the day first and then the month. It's just something you've
Well,
always
I
done.
just June 10th, 61 is what I don't know what I wrote even. I actually
Okay.
use a
You wrote
different
10, you
format.
wrote
Usually
10,
I'll
6.
type.
Okay, Joan, doesn't matter. Let's get past this.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. So anyway, I'm going to record your voice. And in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to say your name and then the AEIOU. So in just a moment, we'll go ahead and record your voice in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording.
Joan Allen, AEIOU, 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 AEIOU.
Okay, this is so funny. I got to get used to this here. I've actually recorded that on my iPad, so which is hilarious. I'm going to ask you to do it one more time,
Okay,
and I'm just going to have you reset yourself, and I'm going to start recording. And so now you can do it perfectly because it did get a little distorted. And I'll go ahead and record in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording.
Joan Allen, AEIOU, 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 AEIOU.
That's absolutely perfect. So for you, what has been your experience so far of using your genius?
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it.
What do you like about it? What has really drawn you in and kind of made you a fan?
Well, I've always been a fan. I've just never been able to go with a high-end biofeedback machine. I've always
Okay,
wanted to
so
do
it
this.
sounds like somebody introduced you to some type of biofeedback maybe way back in the day.
Many years ago, I started with an SC5 radionics, and I just couldn't make it work. And then I tried going to see a lady, which was okay, but it wasn't enough. And then
Right?
I tried another portable one on a phone, which was not very good at all. And then I found this one. So I'm very
Very
happy.
cool. Very cool. Well, we're so happy to have you as part of our community, and I was really just so tickled that you've already sort of shared the genius with other folks who have gotten in touch with us and want to purchase it. And so I really sincerely thank you for that.
Oh, I thank you for all the help.
It's a pleasure to have you as part of our community. Well, I'm going to let you sit back and relax and just enjoy as I do the scan on you as we do our lesson today. Is that okay?
That's okay.
All right, Joan. Thank you very, very much. All right, so lovely, and we just have the best community, the most passionate people, the most dedicated people, the kindest people. It's really, really nice. So once again, I'm actually showing you that I'm running this Genius right on my laptop. So if you have a Mac laptop, or this is actually Mac Mini, or a desktop, you can just simply load the version that's on geniusbiofeedback.com, go to Learn, and you're going to find our Genius reinstall links down as one of the menu items, and you simply click on it. You have to release some privacy settings on from your settings, and it'll guide you through that. You certainly can get in touch with us, support at geniusbiofeedback.com, and we can show you that. And then it just loaded up just like it would on an iPhone or an iPad, and you're looking at it in real time, and it certainly is exciting to be able to utilize it this way, because this is really convenient that it's right on your computer. You can do a Zoom, you can do a meeting, you don't have to do the reflector and things like that. Now, if you do have an Android version, there are some new Android, like the Chromebooks are really the most popular ones that we know that you can use the Genius on. One of the people who helps me here on our team uses a C330 Lenovo, which is a little bit of an older one. So you'd have to get it first, try to load it on. And I think, some of them will be very successful for you. I have to get used to that. I have my iPad right here. I keep going to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's see what's going on with the aura today. And we'll take some of your other questions that you have. And can you recommend a process for depression and anxiety? So there's a really cool basic process just for emotional stuff on that guide. So we'll go back to that guide in just a second. I was wondering if you could explain how it would be beneficial to run the Nogiers every day. Annette, that's so cool because we did that last week. So go to last week's class. So join my YouTube channel by looking for Ariel Policano on YouTube, or go to the blog and see where we posted it last week from the blog. I know sometimes it's hard to find. And we talked all about the Nogiers. We gave a guide last week. And so that's a really good way to get to tap into the Nogiers. So, and we talked about using all of them. Where can I find a download PDF on that? Go to geniusbiofeedback.com, go to the blog, and you can download it from the blog. That's where it's located. In fact, we can kind of go back there, I think. So here's the blog. Once again, this is the blog post from today. So if you go to that on our website, then that's how you can find the download. I know it's confusing. So then we have this basic process one that I was talking about. And so Annette, an answer for you is this basic process right here, basic process 3. So basic process 3 has been designed just for that. And we do have these libraries that are for depression, anxiety as well, which is within the, what is the one called? I think it's called the mental health pack. If you go to geniusbiofeedback.com, you could get 40% off that today with our coupon code, which is LABD, like Labor Day 40. And it's our mental health pack. Might be something that you already have. You could look up and see if you have depression or anxiety in your libraries. And then you can use this one, which is a process just for anxiety, depression, PTSD, emotions, feeling upset. And so this would be a great one to utilize for that. Okay, looking at the aura today, we see now the aura has changed again. The developer has changed the nature of how the aura is presented. So we're really trying to get on top of that and understand it more. It used to have a nice big predominant color in the middle, and that has changed. I also think it's better if it's in the context of the aura, but that has now changed. So we need to hide the aura. And so right in the center of the aura, we have this beautiful orange color. So that's going to be second chakra. It's going to be sort of showing that Joan has a lot of creativity going on in her field, maybe new ideas, maybe, something about working with her genius, just like a lot of new ideas about things she can work on for herself. And then what I notice about this aura is the crispness of some of the rings. So you've got that beautiful crispness in the purple ring. So that purple ring is very, very bright, very clear. And so with that ring, we're thinking of the chakra right here, the 6th chakra, like a lot of intuition. So we've got a lot of creativity. We've got a lot of intuition. A little place where it seems to have there isn't actually a lot of blockage to this. It may be right here. There's a little bit of some stuff that we can clear up, but even that looks purple. So it looks like it's part of the intuition. So what we would really look for is maybe some of these rings becoming a little bit more clearly defined, maybe getting a little bit more color of those higher chakras in some of the rings. So now, and we're going to take a screenshot of this. Now I have to take it on my computer instead of my iPad. So we're going to take that right there, take a screenshot of it, and then we'll see if we can look at it. Remember, you can email or print this if you want to. And now we'll go back here. Let's show it with the avatar, and then let's exit out of it. And now we want to talk about the various trays that we have. So those of you who are new or maybe just need a refresher, the Genius has 3 different trays. A tray is a place where we gather up frequencies in order to balance them together, in order to bring to bear all of the energies that we have selected. They play together in a harmonic way and in a looped way, so they keep playing and playing for the duration of the time that you have selected. So we have these 3 trays. I'm just trying to see if I can get a little spotlight here, and let's grab that so we can see what we're doing. So we have a tray called the Quick Zap tray. We have a tray called the Main Hold tray. We have another tray that was added later on in the development of the Genius called the Quick Balance. And this really came out of community request for, why can't I auto balance everything that appears on the page? So let's take, for example, something like vitamins. And again, I'm trying to go to my iPad. So something like vitamins. So vitamins, we have all of these vitamins that are red. We have all the vitamins that are blue. Now, if you wanted to do an instantaneous balancing of vitamins, you could do it through tapping Quick Balance at the bottom, and it would instantly balance all the reds and all the blues without adding anything to your tray. You don't have to do anything. So one technique you could use is maybe you want to do these little 1-minute bumps. So what you want to do is maybe you have 3 of your favorite things that you want to balance for yourself. And maybe you could do this daily. We've presented this sometimes as like a daily nutritional balancer or a daily nutritional tonic. So what you can do is quick balance here for a minute, right? You're going to quick balance. And you don't have to add anything to the tray. You know, you're in a hurry. You got to get this done. And so you're going to balance those for 1 minute. And then you're going to go and you're going to balance your minerals for a minute. And then you're going to go and you're going to balance your amino acids for a minute. And you don't have to do anything else. You just hit them quick, 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 quick. And you can see what the rectification percentage is. And then you can go. Pamela says, for balancing daily, is there a better time to do this, morning or evening? That's really your temperament. Some people love to do this in the morning because it sets the tone of their day. They know they're getting in all their frequency balancing for the day. And so a lot of our research participants, they would do 15 minutes first thing in the day, and they liked to have that routine. Some people are very sensitive. If they run frequencies in the evening, it causes them to rev up a little bit. For our clients, we've often instructed them to go ahead and to run their frequencies 15 minutes in the morning. Brushing your teeth, that's a mental reminder. Oh, I'm brushing my teeth. Now it's time for me to run my frequencies. I'm brushing my teeth in the evening. I'm going to balance my frequencies again. So they have some type of a visual cue, some type of a reminder cue that they can use. Now, after balancing for just 1 minute, we got to harmony, 50%, alignment, 45%, energy flow, 55%. We balanced them all together, and we've got an average percentage rectification of 50%. Just for fun, let's see how that changed the aura. So let's go back to the aura and see in that short amount of time, how did it affect the aura to run that 1 minute of reds and blues in quick balance for vitamins. Let's go ahead and see. All right, so excellent. So let's see how it's changed. And now we see that the aura has shifted and moved. Again, I'm using this on my Mac Mini. And that's interesting. The vitamins actually, again, I'm trying to figure out how to do this on my Mac here. That's interesting. So it sort of caused this sort of devitalization effect. It sort of calmed everything down, and it brought in a lot of blue energy. Let's go ahead and hide the avatar here. So it brought in all this blue energy, which is around the throat, around the thyroid. Let's go back and let's see what those vitamins were. Let's just go ahead and see what were the vitamins that we were working on here. Let's go ahead and see where they are. They're right here. So got a lot of B vitamins, vitamin K, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin A, biotin, choline, vitamin D, vitamin B6. The biotin was by far the lowest. Biotin is for hair, skin, and nails. So maybe there was a thyroid connection there. That's kind of interesting. So that is the quick balance. Let's look at another one. If you want to do that daily nutritional balancing, you go to minerals and you would run that. If you hit quick balance, it would take copper, fluoride, sodium, selenium, boron, and balance them along with the blue items, which is going to be, go to Entangled Insights. That's so frustrating. Let's see if we can go back. All right, and go down here. And cobalt, lithium, potassium, silica, chromium, chlorine. So chlorine could be something that's part of hydrochloric acid, or it could be chlorine, like too much chlorine. It's not always clear exactly what's going on there, but this is balancing. This is balancing the energy to bring it to a more harmonious state. Then we would go to something like amino acids, and we would do that for a minute. So that basically is your quick balance. Okay, that timer for the quick balance is located right here, and as you move it up and down, it changes the minutes. Now let's move on to the quick zap. The quick zap is when you know that you have a few items that you know that you want to balance. So as opposed to the main hold tray, this is where we put a lot of different categories together because we don't really know what the priority is, and we want the software to tell us what the priority is for that day. With the quick zap, we're already really clear what we want to balance. We want to say, okay, well, I really want the effect of balancing the meridians, which is what we're talking about today. So I'm going to go to the meridians, and I want them to be balanced just in the quick zap. So what I'm going to do, and it's a little different from the quick balance, but I am going to take the red items and I'm going to put them up into this quick zap tray. And I also want to take the blue items, that's the heart meridian, but now I want to do something a little bit different that I can't get from the quick balance functionality. So I need to move beyond that. But what I want to do is I want to take the top meridian, and now I want to put all these points that are red into the top tray. So I'm going to take all the red items, and then I'm going to take from the top meridian, I'm also going to take the blue items, and this is a little tricky. It's to be here, and then it goes to, there's a few little glitches with this Mac presentation, because what I need to do is I need to be over here, but it keeps taking me to Entangled Insights. Oh, the glitches of the day. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we go here to the blue items, and it gives us the blue items, and it's gathered those up into the tray. And we would repeat that for the lowest meridian here. So here, there's not a lot of points in the heart meridian, but we're going to take that heart meridian. We're going to take the lower points, the blue item in the heart meridian. We're going to put those because we have a few items that we know. Now we want to sprinkle it with a few other really wonderful frequencies. So we're creating like a recipe. We're creating a little formula together. So we want to think about the solfeggio tones. So we're going to bring those red ones up. We always want to use 528 anyway. We're going to bring that one up. And now we've got just 23 items in this tray, and we're going to balance that for 1 minute. Let's go ahead and see if we can change the frequency, shape, and form and shift things up a little bit. Let's try the active sonic signatures today. And let's go ahead and let's see if I can actually scroll down here. And let's allow this to choose an isochronic tone. That's the right one for Joan today. So let's go ahead and see which area we can get isochronic tones from. And it says the sleepy sounds of the rain. So something about those sleepy sounds would be soothing for her today. Okay, so the sound preview, let's hear how it sounds. I don't hear anything. Oh, that's really weird. Let's try another, let's see if the sound comes back here. We hear it here. That's kind of, I don't know what's going on with those sonic signatures. Frequency, shape, and form. Let's go to the default generator. Go back to that. Archetype encoding is usually unpleasant to listen to. I don't think sonic signatures is working properly. Oh, okay. It just zapped back in. Okay, so I like to use sonic signatures sometimes. It's a little bit more haunting sound, but I think it can be quite powerful, especially when you're doing emotional clearing. So again, we're up in the quick zap right here, and it's telling us 0 minutes. So we want it set for 1 minute. And let's go ahead and play that. All right. What is the max number of frequencies you can add to the quick zap? Annette, that's a really good question. There's no max number, but what you're thinking about is sort of maybe 50 or less, maybe 30 or less. It's just really focused balancing in this way. We've done, you know, if you have something like you could put all of your emotions together with a solfeggio frequency. So you want to really sort of harmonize and free and release those emotions. So you put it maybe with 528 or maybe 285, or you're thinking about, how do I want to put these things together? And I just want to sort of make these all sort of swirl together, act on each other. And how do I want to bring that together? So quick zap is for focused balancing, when you know what you really want to put together. All right, so let's see what we've got here. Just looking for any other questions or comments. Try to make these comments about the functionality of the genius, maybe not like an announcement or anything like that, just questions about the functionality of the genius. So that's what we're really looking for. Your good questions that you run into during the week and you're like, gosh, I wish I could ask Ariel this really quickly. What is that question? Something about the functionality, something about using your genius. That's what we're really looking for. So let's go back and let's see how it actually, whoops, we don't want to exit out here. We want to close this and then we want to go back here. So let's see how that changed the aura. So we now, at this time, we ran all the meridians together and we ran some meridian points. And now we put in the solfeggios. How did that affect the aura? So let's go ahead and have a look. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some items into the main hold tray. And what we'll do is we'll use this basic process in just a moment. So now it's really interesting. Now I have to figure out where to find my photos here. Because I don't know actually how to do a gallery on my own little Mac here. I usually do it for my iPad. So that's really interesting. And it is really fascinating that that blue energy is really taking hold. But there's more of a muted energy. And it reminds me of, like, as we're sort of working on our client, they're sort of processing things. And this has only been for a few minutes. We started off very, very bright, very, very clear. Now we're taking in the encoded information and kind of utilizing it. Let's hide the avatar. And yeah, a lot of that blue energy, a lot of communication energy. And then this bright, again, coming into the aura is this really bright orange energy, but it's got a real brightness to it that it didn't have before. So isn't that fascinating? So this is all just related to something about authentic communication, or maybe teaching or showing or talking. So a lot of communication themes here. Okay, then we show the avatar. And I'm going to figure out the picture thing in just a moment. Let's just go ahead with this because I want to finish our discussion here. So now we're going to go back to our main hold tray. Let's go ahead and clear this all out. So the main hold tray is the place where we gather up different types of panels together, because we don't know yet what the priority of the case is. So let's do one that Annette asked about: anxiety, depression, PTSD. And let's look what's in this one. So for this one, we're going to gather all of these reds and blues into the main hold tray. So let's go to, we'll skip emotions, but no emotions are in there. Let's go to flower essences just for time consideration. So now let's go to the mental one here, which is Bach flower essences. And let's gather up from here all our red items and all of our blue items. Gather those up. So that we did emotions, flower essences. Now we're going to incorporate digestion, because digestion is really something you use in every single case, because digestion is affecting mood, it's affecting hormones, it's affecting inflammation, it's affecting so many things. So we're going to incorporate digestion. Then neurotransmitters, what is the state of the chemical messengers, right? Serotonin and GABA. Those are all very significant, right, to somebody's mood and how they're feeling, whether they're depressed, happy, things like that. Then we're going to move, we've got what are the brain waves, right? The brain EEG, how is that affecting the person? So let's bring that into balance. Then we've got brain anatomy. So the parts of the brain, what kind of signals are they sending to the rest of the body? How that can affect hormones. That can affect so many parts of how we're experiencing the world. This really could be better. The entangled insight, I don't mean to be tapping on it, but if you tap on one line, it goes to entangled insights. Okay, so then we have spiritual protection. So a lot of people like to start their session with spiritual protection. Some people don't like it because they don't like the items in spiritual protection. They don't understand them, trying to make sense out of them. So this one says, All negative energies cleared, auric protection, surround and protect, FTHG. Why don't we just write that one out, since for the highest good? I'd send that to the developer. Hey, what if you just write out the words for the highest good instead of expecting people to know what FTHG stands for, like some secret code? All entities cleared, all non-beneficial cords cut, protective jewelry, all psychic attack cleared. All right, so we got reds and blues. So you can see why some people like this one, some people don't. Then we want to say to ourselves, okay, what other ones do we want to utilize? Let's utilize meridians, because we were talking about that today. So gallbladder meridian, that's going to run through the gallbladder. Let's look at gallbladder meridian, and it's going to show us like where the gallbladder meridian runs through. It runs through the gallbladder, and you can kind of see where all the different points are out of balance. Now, this is another one I'm not sure, because I think this is going to be a missing, I don't think you're gonna be able to use this functionality. I'm gonna have to figure it out, because usually it requires you to tap on the screen in order to expand and contract the animations. But that being said, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put the reds, and then we're gonna put our blues into our tray here. And then we're gonna take all of the high meridians and all the low meridians and put them in here. And we're also going to take our heart meridian, and we're going to put the high reds and the low blues into the tray. Now we have 80 items in our main whole tray, and we don't really know what the priority would be. So let's add in something else. If we really didn't know what the priority is for the person, let's have some fun. Hopefully we can do this. Is it letting me scroll down? Let's go to our custom libraries, and let's see if we can grab the root cause. So finding the root cause library is fun when you don't really know what the priority of the case is. You can usually draw some conclusions there. So let's go ahead and find that library. To find a particular library, we're going to use this little chevron here, a little cap, and we're going to look here, and we're going to look up root cause. Okay, so there's what is the root cause of the issue. We're going to click on that one. Muscle loss, the emotion of envy, structural system. So this is like if our posture is not good, if our hips are out of alignment, jaw misalignment. So that kind of goes with the structural system. Mercury toxicity. So fish being the main source of mercury toxicity for most people, and then the second one being dental fillings. But mercury in fish is the top one. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of our red items, and we're going to put them into the tray. I'm going to have to get my iPad off my desk because I keep going back to it. Okay, so, and then we're going to, hopefully we can scroll down here, and we're going to look at the ones all the way at the bottom. An herbicide exposure, toxins in the food. So that could be maybe the fish, sedentary lifestyle. So we need to do a little bit more aerobic exercise, some dog allergies, leaky gut, chronic adrenal stress, chronic kidney infection. We may not know that we have this kidney infection, so on and so forth. Now, let's go ahead and add all the blue items. Now we're going to go to our main whole tray where you have 114 items. That's pretty good. Between 100 and 200 items, no more, no more than that. Let's not have sessions that have 500 items in the tray. You want to be more choosy at the beginning, planning things out. What libraries do I want to look at, and which do I want to explore? Maybe at the most, maybe 4-6 panels that are related to the case. The reason is we don't need to overwhelm our client. We also don't need to overwhelm ourselves. We don't want to spend an excessive time in doing the testing. This is interesting. Sleep apnea. So many people don't know that they have sleep apnea. One thing that you can do is now they have apps. So you can go and look in the App Store or the Google Play Store for they'll actually record your sleep. They know, when you're snoring or when you stop, they hear the sounds of respiration and could deduce that you may have issues with sleep apnea. So look for the different sleep apps that tell you and can actually play back what your sleep experience was the next day if there were any concerning times when you weren't breathing or just snoring, because snoring can be related to sleep apnea. Rescue remedy, a gallbladder meridian. So what Progressive Insights did is it took all of the items and it said all these items that are not necessarily related to each other, let's take them all together and let's show what that would be. So I think there's really an issue with sonic signatures. I need to go back out of here and look at this. Libraries, frequency, shape, and form. See that sometimes you're hearing it and sometimes you're not. Let's go to our default generator. And once again, you could have some fun with this. You could clear this here. You could go to super conscious select, let it choose which of the sounds is most desired by the person's consciousness. So this is testing for them in frequency, shape, and form, saying chimes and bells is the best. And then we could clear this again, say super conscious select. Which one now is the one, the isochronic tone that is most wanted? Let's go ahead and ask that. And it says deep sleep. So a lot of stuff around sleep for Joan. That's really fascinating. Now we go back here. We're going to go back to our main hold tray. It still has the prioritization, so we can reselect our high items. Calcifications of the vessels, past emotional trauma, gallbladder deficient due to bile flow low. That happens when estrogen gets a little bit low. And gallbladder deficiency contributing to root cause. So you start to see the patterns. That's the thing that makes you a really good practitioner, is observing and making the sense out of the patterns, which is one of the things we're going to be exploring in the process club. So the process club, you can just join it for a month and see if you like it. You can cancel at any time. All right, let's see if you have any other questions that have come through here in the chat. And how did you get to the root cause of the issue? Was it through the custom libraries? Yes, and I believe this is one that you may have, which is, it's just called root cause. It's in the custom libraries, root cause. Is it beneficial to run the depression process every day? Can the body use these energies when run daily, or is it a waste of time and effort? Well, I think what people really discovered in the research project is they liked balancing daily. It gave them a routine and it gave them something that they look forward to. Every time you can really think about the frequencies of the genius to be similar to exercise. So do you like to exercise every day, or do you like to exercise every second day? Do you want to do a long exercise, workout, and then you take off a couple of days? Or do you like to do maybe a 15-minute jog every day? In some ways it's personal, but remember, every time that you're running frequencies, you're basically giving this energetic information. It's encoded information that you're giving to your consciousness. And so it is changing you in some significant way every time you run it. So if you can run it every day, I do think that's more beneficial, because it's a little bit of a touch and then there's a change, and it's a little bit of a touch and there's a change. And that I think that's what really, it's those little changes that we make each and every day that causes a big shift over time. And so you're running those small little taps every day, it's going to start building up, just like when you're rolling the whole snowball effect, right? Little balls going down the hill and just picking up momentum, and it's getting larger and larger as it's working its way down the hill. So that's one way you can think about it. Now, there's no hard and fast rule to this. You could also just find your personal preference, but it is not in any way a waste of time to do it daily. All right, so that was the root cause. This is one of the libraries here. So we found the root cause of the issue, or we were looking for the root cause or the patterns. Let's go back to the aura. How is the aura changed now? There was no photo shown in the aura. That's because, Rita, thank you for that, but we didn't get a chance to take Joan's picture today because she didn't have a button for her camera, so we just went with the voice. So we weren't able to do that. Well, that's a fascinating change. I still think that I think it's pretty obvious. This little guy is a little bit still off center and I just write to the developer and say, hey, just like take out a measuring stick or something, like you use a level when you're trying to figure something out. It's just a little bit off center and it's kind of off-putting, but maybe nobody else notices or sees that. And maybe I'm off center. I don't know. Yeah, you could see it here. This is where you can really see it right here. Anyway, okay, so we've got this beautiful pink shining through. Now it's so interesting that we've got this red. This is really like more physical things that she's starting to work on. So this is more anchored and grounded. She may be experiencing like a more anchored and grounded energy. She may have gone to work energetically on this particular sleep issue, the sleep thing. I don't know if there is a sleep issue or not, but it's just coming through in the scan. And right here, this is this powerful connection to her crown chakra, and then to also the 6th and the 7th chakra. So she's working her way through with a lot of spiritual knowledge. There's a lot of spiritual energy that's going into her sort of working through her issues and problems. All right, let's go back here. Let's see, what did we miss? Please list the root cause name in the Genius. I don't have this library. Go to geniusbiofeedback.com and just go ahead and look for the library that says the root cause. You can get it for 40% off today by using our coupon code LABD, like Labor Day 40, LABD 40, and get 40% off. So you just go here, we're just looking it up, root cause. It's a fun one. It's fun to have things like the root cause. This is sort of similar to the body repair codes. And the body repair codes also give you a lens into, what's going on. Let's actually go to Joan and just ask her, how has this information been landing with you? What are some of your ideas? So Joan, let's go ahead and unmute you here and see, how is this information? What are your thoughts about what we've been discovering today?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go right ahead.
Well, I do have trouble sleeping. There's no question about that, but I'm surprised to see that as the root cause, because there's a lot of other things I would have thought come up first.
What would be the other things?
Type 1 diabetic and my heart.
Now, blood sugar did come up. I think it was the one just right now. Let's see if it was in
It did come up, but I was surprised to see the sleep come up as the root cause. So
but that's really the point. Blood sugar is now balanced. Blood sugar now balanced and is optimized. Blood sugar now balances and is optimized. That's interesting that they came up in the body repair code. So consciousness is saying, yes, that would be an important thing for you. Yeah. The really cool thing about that with the sleep is the whole idea of biofeedback is, even for an experienced practitioner like myself, I'm coming to conclusions based on my cognitive knowledge, which can often be good in my experience. But the Genius is going right to your higher consciousness and asking a more objective way, things that we don't always recognize, or the conclusion we might not always come to. And that's significant because sleep is very complex. Sleep is very rich with a lot. If we're not going through sort of the cycles of sleep or getting to a deep sleep, that is affecting every part of our being, blood sugar, cardiovascular, nervous system. And so the Genius is able to sort of tap into that in a way that you and I, might not have come to that conclusion. That's the whole point of biofeedback. Anything else that you want to share with us, Joan?
Excuse me. Well, I could go on and on forever, but I'll start working with the sleep.
Yeah. Let us know. It's something fun that came out of today. And it wasn't even really here. It wasn't until we got to the main hold tray that it really came forward. But I'm so happy for you and all the work that you're doing, all the motivation that you've had to do good things for yourself. So I'm very inspired by that. So thank you so much for being part of our Genius community.
Well, thank you for picking me.
All right, keep coming back to class, Joan, and keep in touch with us and let us know how you're doing. I'm going to mute you here for now, but thank you very much. And we'll just do a final. So now I had 177 items in the tray. I added in the body repair codes, and now what now comes forward? The left hip joint. That's interesting. Gallbladder comes up again. A front. Now it's hard to take these all in one by one because our brain starts to come in and go, oh my gosh, how do I take care of all these? Sometimes they just need a little bit of a tap. Sometimes they just need a balancing. And what's happening, let's see if I can lower this here a little bit. What's really happening for us every time we see something visually for ourselves when we're testing ourselves, we see left hip joint. Okay, left hip joint. Your consciousness immediately goes in and is like mentally and energetically repairing your left hip joint. There's a lot just to bringing up the level of awareness of what's going on in your own body. Like there's a lot of value in that. And we don't have to resolve every single thing here, but it's good to just notice that these things are coming up for us. Now, a recommended book that we've recommended before is this book, Floral Acupuncture. And I like when I'm sitting with a client and kind of looking at the different things that are coming up for them. Water violet is one that's come up very, very powerfully here. So water violet, this is a lot of our healers in our tribe resonate with the water violet energy. But water violet is a remedy for a delicate condition of the soul that finds comfort in being alone. Accomplished and self-sufficient, you may draw those around you to your singular gifts. Water violet helps you to engage more fully in the world and, share your gifts. Go ahead and get that. Your disdain for physical existence and need to retreat are softened by the new warmth and embodied fullness. So, sometimes as a healer, you're very intuitive and you want to just retreat from the world. This says you can integrate more naturally. And sometimes it's integration through our healing work, talking to others, connecting with the world through this wonderful genius work where you get to talk with people about what they're going through and help them to understand it and put it in perspective. So water violet was that flower essence for you. That was the top flower essence. Let's get one final aura. It'll be interesting to know how this sort of shook out at the very, very end. Okay, and Rachel says, sleep helps the body to repair. That's good. What is the depression library called? Look for the mental health pack on the website. The mental health pack includes frequencies for anxiety, depression, PTSD, and stress reduction. I received that book today. Floral Acupuncture. What does red? Red is when we're really turning our attention to something physical. It has to do with the first chakra. So when we're working on physical issues, we'll often see the red in the aura. And that was a little bit muddied. So we're looking to clear some physical issues up. This is really interesting, this golden aura that we're ending on. We're back to that blue theme. So I do think a lot of the communication and the more clear communication connects to that energy of the water violet. The orange has been pretty consistent. The orange is that creative energy, but now it's like a pastel color. And then we've got this beautiful green connected to the heart. And right on the outer edges, we've got almost like a golden energy. So it may also be related to the crown chakra. So very, very interesting progression of the aura as we went through things today. She went through different moods and different themes that are in the aura. So it's really, really fascinating. Well, today is Labor Day, and I want to thank you for joining us today. We do have a coupon code today, which is LABD. So like Labor Day 40 for libraries, 40% off any library or libraries of your choice. Library Discount Club members, please wait because we're going to have a 60% discount for you. If you want to join for a month, you can get that 60% discount, and then you can decide if you want to stick around or not on Library Discount Club. And we're also going to have a terahertz training today on Wednesday. So make sure to look for that on our events calendar at geniusbiofeedback.com. And I think that's going to be everything for today. We'll be back next week with our weekly training. I hope you have a wonderful day today, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye for now.